Stephen Leahy says that the shortage of water is the biggest challenge the global economy faces. The average North American uses about 100 gallons of water a day for drinking, washing, and flushing, but Leahy's recent book, Your Water Footprint, The Shocking Facts About How Much Water We Use to Make Everyday Products, reveals that the average American actually uses about 2,000 gallons a day. Most of it is embedded in our food. More than 2,000 gallons are used to produce a pound of butter, for instance, but a cell phone contains 240 gallons of virtual water, and a cotton shirt contains 660 gallons. Only about 3% of the world's water is drinkable, and we're using more and more of it every year. The resulting shortages cause drought, food shortages, economic contraction, and mass migration.
Water that comes out of our tap is obviously something we're familiar with on a daily basis. But virtual water is the water it takes to make things. So for instance, to make this shirt takes about 5,000 liters of water. So what does this water involve? It involves the water it took to grow the cotton and then to process the cotton. So it's real water. You can't make a shirt without it, but we don't see it. So that's the term, it's come to be called either virtual water, or I use the word hidden, because really we don't see it.
Yeah. And it's a huge amount, right? And for a lot of for domestic products that you wouldn't think so.
Yeah, the amounts are staggering. Like a cup of coffee takes 140 liters of water to make one cup. Yeah. And where's that water? That water is for growing the coffee beans. For one cup of coffee requires 140 liters of water. A cell phone, 1,000 liters for one cell phone. So that's the water to make all of the elements in a cell phone.
And where does water enter into the components of a cell phone?
So to make the glass, it's made of silica, so the process of both mining and refining the materials, the metals, all require water. I mean, we need water to make anything. I ask kids sometimes in schools, can you think of something that doesn't need water to make? And no one yet has come up with one.
And then also, there's a degradation built into that whole situation too, right?
Yeah, so water gets polluted. Water, if it's not sort of cared for, ends up being unusable for drinking or cooking or making stuff. And that's a huge problem. There's always been this issue for large parts of the world where they figure, well, we'll just get the water somewhere else. We either get the water somewhere else or we'll get the products from somebody else. So we will import our fruits and vegetables from another place. However, at the same time, there are ways in which to produce food that are much more sustainable. They call it polyculture, so several crops being grown together and they work together to fend off pests. And there's several studies in even places like Africa where these systems, which are based on traditional systems, produce a lot more food. They don't produce necessarily much more corn per hectare, but they produce more tonnage of food per hectare. So you get a variety of crops, which is good in a changing climate when you don't know what the weather's going to bring. It's a lot more flexible system. So it's possible to continue to feed people, but we have to be cognizant of the fact that there's no more land on the planet. We need to preserve a fair amount of our planet for nature as well, because nature also provides all these services like oxygen and other key important things. And nature needs water too, so we can't take all the water because again we need nature services for us to survive.
Stephen Leahy, author of Your Water Footprint and creator of community-supported environmental journalism. If you enjoyed this interview, you may want to look at our interview with Maud Barlow, chair of the Council of Canadians, a water warrior who shepherded a right-to-water measure through the United Nations and who's written a trio of books on the looming world crisis in water. I'd also suggest our interview with Dr. Bill Rees, whose research gave us the original concept of an ecological footprint to measure with some precision our impact on the planet that gives us life. For The Green Interview, I'm Silver Donald Cameron. Thanks for joining us.